Hey guys, today I'm here to bring you my review of Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 6. Now, you know what? Let's just get right into the episode because I have to say this is much better than last week's. I really liked this episode and there's a lot of stuff going on and yeah. So basically, Arya begins her faceless men training for real, and it's awesome. And it's like Arya is finally starting to get it, and I'm happy. And I have to say, I'm glad we don't see Arya every episode because if we saw a little bit of Bravos every episode, I feel like people would get bored. I'd get bored. But since we see her every couple episodes or every other episodes, I think that's perfect. So yeah, begins her faceless men training, and I have to say, I also really like the character of the waif. She's the girl who told Arya that story, which turned out to be probably fake. And also the character of the waif, she's played by Faye Marsay, who played Anne Neville in The White Queen, which is a miniseries from 2013, which I love. Is a great miniseries and a great book. So yeah. So I really like the Bravo stuff and looking forward to seeing more. Tyrion and Jorah, end up being captured by pirates and slaver pirates, and they're basically being taken to this marine for the fighting pits, which I liked. Of course I liked the dialogue between Tyrion and Jorah. It was funny, and Jorah learns that his father's dead, and I felt really bad for him, He already has grayscale, now he learns that his father's dead. I feel sad for him. So yeah, the next stuff, Littlefinger's in King's Landing, and he has this scene with Lancel, which season 5 Lancel's a total badass, and then he has a scene with Cersei, and we basically learn that Littlefinger, he wants to be Warden of the North, which actually is not really surprising because, he wants everything, so yeah. Though I don't think he would betray Sansa, but he doesn't mean he can't want the North for himself, that'll be interesting. And now the stuff in Dorne. Listen, the Oberyn Martell was perfect. Doran Martell, even though we've only seen him in a couple scenes, I still really like him. And I also really like the Areo Hota casting. And I loved the Trystane Martell casting until he opened his mouth and started speaking. Ugh, I'm sorry, the Martells are not being done justice in the TV show, with the exception of a couple, of course. Just, ugh. And also this little love story between Trystane and Myrcella. I don't hate it, but I would rather see Quentyn and especially Arianne Martell instead of a love story between Tristan and Myrcella. And of course, Missandei and Grey Worm. I'd rather see those characters than those love stories. But, whatever. And basically, Jaime and Bronn finally arrive in Dorne, and the Sand Snakes finally tag, and basically there's this fight between Jaime and Bronn and the Sand Snakes. It ends up with Areo Hota stopping it, and he's taking him to Doran. But Bronn is scratched by that Obara Sands pike or whatever it's called, her spear, and she probably poisons her spear too. So I'm like, oh no, is Bronn gonna die? I don't want Bronn to die. We've had him since season 1. He's been a great character. I love Bronn, and I don't want to see him go. But yeah. So really, the Dorne stuff was, And I have to say, I like the Sand Snakes a little less, even more than I did. Wasn't impressed with them in episode 4. I mean, we barely got them, but from what I saw, I was like not impressed. And I knew I needed to see more of them, and we've seen more of them, and I wanted the Sand Snake to be so cool, but at least they're awesome in the books. But I don't like the TV Sand Snakes, but I still have not given up hope. I still need to see a little more of them before I make my final judgments, but so far, not impressed at all. No, and I'm sure many book readers will agree with me, they're just not that good. Okay, and then now the stuff in King's Landing, the trial thing, it's not a real trial, and Elena's back, and there's a great scene between her and Cersei. You love it. I just love Elena, and it's like she's been a delight with this show, and I'm glad we get to see more of her. And basically, there's this trial thing, and they're basically questioning Loras if all the accusations against him, sleeping with Renly are true, and and of course he lies. He can't tell them the truth, about that because he would go up against a real trial, and then Marjorie is called to witness too, and she of course lies, But basically, then Oliver, Loras's lover we saw in the first episode of this season, he tells the truth, and Loras is now he has to face a real trial, and Marjorie is arrested too. Though I knew it was gonna happen, but I guess it's different from in the books, but actually I don't mind how they did in the show. And then basically ends up, and Tommen can't do anything, sweet Tommen. He just is like, and then Elena looks at Cersei, and Cersei gives her this look, and just like, what? Though I'm not too worried, because something happens to Cersei in something's gonna happen to Cersei, which will make many people very happy. Let's just say that. But it doesn't involve death. I know that's a spoiler, but she's not gonna die. But anyways, so yeah. That was like my second favorite scene. And then my favorite stuff was in the north with Sansa, and basically Sansa is getting a bath by Miranda, is being bathed by Miranda, Ramsay's lover, and she's like Miranda tells Sansa of all the things that all the girls, like what happened to them, and Sansa doesn't believe her, and basically Sansa and Ramsay get married, and well, Sansa knows that all the stuff Miranda tells her now is true, because Ramsay basically raped her, and he also forced Theon to watch, and that was like my heart was pounding in my chest. I mean, thankfully we didn't have to see the actual act, but seeing the reaction on Theon's face and hearing Sansa's shrieks was enough for me. Like, seriously, I was like, no, Sansa suffered enough already, and now seeing this happen to her, it hurts my heart. I don't like seeing the Starks sad. I don't like seeing them sad. They've already suffered enough, and now poor Sansa's getting it worse, and yeah. But that was horrible. But it elevated the episode to me. Like, this episode was just probably going to be like a 3.5 out of 5 for me. But then with all the last two sections of the episode, this episode is like a 4.25 out of 5 stars for me. It was a great episode. Still waiting on that 5 out of 5 episode, but I'm sure that next week's will be that for me, because next week's episode looks amazing. We're going to get more Tyrion and Jorah. We're going to get, like, more stuff in King's Landing involving, like, the trial and stuff, and all the crap stuff that goes down in the north, like stuff with the wall, stuff with Jon, stuff with Stannis and Sansa, who are turning out to be two of my favorite characters, and their storylines are so interesting. So yeah, this was a great episode. I can't wait till next week's episode, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.